Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Thank you for joining me today. I have an interesting topic today that I think will be relevant to a lot of you. It certainly has been a lesson for me, and I want to thank Leslie Moon for writing this article. She's one of our bloggers, and sort of opened my eyes to and put words around something that I've been trying to do recently in my life, and that is creating boundaries. Now, boundaries are individual, of course, to everyone. Some people don't want the structured boundaries, but they are more flexible. Others are really struggling with situations in their lives, realities that are just causing a lot of unhappiness. And one thing that Leslie talks about is that, this is not just a feeling of like, oh, I've got to start, stop doing this or stop doing meeting with this person or create, eliminate toxic relationships from my life. Those are boundaries, but you've got to do it with action. You've actually got to do it. And instead of just complaining about it and saying how it's affecting you and how you're struggling emotionally and physically and spiritually with it, you've got to actually start doing something. Now, I have never actually thought about this in a way because I'm such in my opinion, a very giving person. I want to give and stretch myself as far as I can in every direction so that I can help as many people as possible. Now, of course, I'm in a unique situation because 60andMe gives me the opportunity to have 100,000 plus women here on YouTube and other places, who have individual needs and want responses and help and guidance with life. And I'm constantly stretching myself, to try to accommodate and try to understand. So in a way, I'm a little bit unique. But in your life, if you've had situations that have created unhappiness for you, it could be a person, it could be a job, it could be just a habit or a ritual that you've gotten yourself into, a committee that you've joined that you don't really want to anymore, something that you participate or volunteer in. There's all kinds of things that you might be dealing with, taking care of a parent or a child with some medical or emotional issues. And there is, for everybody, I think, a breaking point. There's a point where you say, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I've done too much for other people. I'm stretching myself too far. It's hurting me too much. I'm stressed. I'm tired. I'm just not happy. And I've got to stop. And you say to yourself, I'm done. I'm done. And that's where you say, when you say that I'm done, I need to make some changes, that it's time to step in and take some action. Now, have you been establishing boundaries in the areas that have been giving you a lot of unhappiness? If not, read this article by Leslie. It's a very good article. And I think she says that it's not easy. Establishing boundaries is tricky, mixed feelings, mixed emotions. And in order to do it, you've got to start by prioritizing who you are. This is the biggest issue, isn't it, of our lives as older women, is who are we and where are the lines between us and family, friends, work, community. Where does it stop? And until you can do that, until you can determine who you are yourself, what your priorities are, you won't be able to create any boundaries. Now, maybe you've always been a people pleaser or a caretaker. You've always looked after everybody else. You don't want to make other people uncomfortable. You want to make them feel good. You don't want to hurt their feelings or, say no to them in any way. But as I've said like a million times here on 60andMe, saying no is a complete sentence. You don't need to say why, how, because, you need to justify it in any way. You can just say no. And that actually is the word that starts the boundaries restricting exercise. You've got to know what the things are that you want to say no to. Yeah, you may feel uncomfortable. This action may be completely different than anything you've ever done. It may not be in your nature, and you might feel discomfort and, just be really, really disappointed in yourself that you just can't do it anymore, that you just can't reach out any more than you already are. And it's okay to feel discomfort. This is where how the process begins, because you feel that's causing that kind of commitment to things you don't want to do anymore is causing you discomfort. And so taking the action to do something about it is not going to be any harder. It's going to be something you have to decide to do. I have my cup of tea somewhere about where's my throat. So yeah, you've got guilt that you're feeling about respecting your own boundaries, especially if someone's struggling. If you've got someone in your family who's struggling, child, or somebody with, some medical or mental health issues, you feel guilty when you say, I just honestly right now can't help you with that, or no, I don't want to participate in this activity or whatever. Say that no word, but you may feel guilty. It's your job as a mom. It's his job as a friend. You've got to stand by their side. Well, as you get older, I'm not saying don't be compassionate and don't love and be kind. I'm absolutely saying the opposite of that. But I think to be kind to yourself is the thing that most of us forget. You've got to start there too. And especially with someone who's struggling, it's endless. I mean, we talked about strange children. We talked a lot about that. I appreciate all your comments, by the way. And, you just reach a point where you cannot do anymore. You've got to stop. You've got to create a boundary. And in a way, as Leslie talks about in her article, boundaries strengthen us. They strengthen our relationships. And in a way, they make us more accessible to the things that we do want to do, where we can be of help, where we are energized by our decisions and not worn down and tired and defeated by it. To people that it gives us more time when we eliminate all and create the boundaries around those things we don't want to do, to be with the people and the things, doing things that we love. It's a positive thing. So boundaries strengthen you. I think, was it Brene Brown, I think, who talked a lot about this. And it's just knowing where the points are that you have to push back. I mean, if you're in the public eye like she is, I think she gets approached a lot in public. And, I think she was in a restaurant and someone came up to her and she filmed it, I think. And it was some basically to the effect, I'm sorry, but I can't talk to you right now. I'm having dinner with my family. And it's like people feel like they have this need to connect with you. And this is if you're in the public eye. And it's hard. So she's written a whole thing about creating boundaries, which is helpful. Brene Brown. So saying yes to someone where we don't want to do something means saying no to something that you want to do. And maybe that person is you. Maybe the person you want to say yes to is you. Maybe it's time to say no now. So boundaries, I think, are important at any age. And it's one of those things that we don't really allow ourselves to teach ourselves when we're younger. It's kind of like you're open-hearted to everyone. Everything is an experiment. Everything is new. But I think when you get a little older, you have now the intelligence and the wisdom and the experience to know where that can lead you and that you don't need to go there anymore. So, relationships are valuable, no doubt about it. You want to be by people's side. You want to help them. You want to support them. But so is your time. Your time is valuable too. Your life is valuable. And you can only do so much to help someone else. So creating a boundary around that relationship. I'm not saying end it. I'm not saying, shut the relationship off and never talk or see or whatever them again. But I'm talking about knowing where the boundaries are and keeping them firm, like reminding people. This is something, between 8 and 10 at night, I don't take any emails or any phone calls. So if you send me mail during that time, I'm not going to be here. That's a boundary. I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be responding. Or, I've decided that I don't want to do any volunteer work in this area, and I'm going to do something here because I prefer to do that. That's my more of my passion, but I'm not going to be able to help you with that anymore. Or caregiver. I can do these things for you. There's some things that I honestly need to put a boundary around. If you want to talk about this, I'm going to ask you to find someone else to do that. I know it sounds so harsh as you're saying the words, but it's actually the best thing that you can do. So have you ever had to set a boundary with someone? I know this isn't the best open platform here in the comment section of 60andMe YouTube or website, but if you would like to share and chat about it, I think a lot of people can learn. If you've had to set a boundary with someone, how did you do it? What did you say? And how did it go? It may not have gone well in the sense that it may have created upset and challenges, but I think trying is important. At least find some boundaries to start with and exercise them. Leslie, I want to thank you for this article. It was really helpful to me to read it myself, but if you've got any comments, just please share. That's the thing that we do on this channel that makes us different. I'm not just like an exercise coach or doing recipes. I'm actually trying to help you and help myself, get through this period of time in our lives, this 60 plus time. So do well, stay safe. Please, if you like this video, please like it and leave a comment because that does help YouTube to know others might want to see it. And that makes a big difference to me and to the support of our channel. And also, if you want a private group that you're interested in joining, try our Patreon group. It's a cool supporters group, $3 a month. It's very helpful to us financially since we don't charge any membership fees or any cost for all this content. But it's a place where you can come twice a week in a live show. People chat with each other. They get together. They go on trips together. We've done 3 trips now, mostly with people from that Patreon group. We went to Spain, went to on a cruise. We went to Bali, and now we're going next year to Tuscany. And these are pretty much exclusive because we just promote them first with our Patreon supporters, and then because that's the people I want to say thank you to in some way. Thank you too for just being here. But if you want a little extra personal touch, and they have a private Facebook group too, check out the Patreon supporters group. Okay, everybody, well, have a fabulous day wherever you are. Go out in the world and shine. Love yourself. Say no to the things you don't want to do. Say yes to you, okay? That's your mantra for today. Yes to you. Say yes to you. Okay, take care.